Hey everyone, thanks for watching and tuning in. Today we're going to be talking about, wow, can I ever get an intro correct without messing up? Probably not. Talking about the best drugstore pressed powders. Yes, I am going to be starting this series on my channel, a best of, loose powders, pressed powders. I have already done videos of bronzers and highlighters. If you have not seen those videos, I will link them down below or in the cards or at the end of the video. So stay tuned for those. And yeah, without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Number one is this Maybelline Better Skin Super Stay Powder. So this is a skin transforming powder, and this offers a lot of extra coverage. So I get mine in a shade that's lighter. Obviously I put something wet in here, but this can be scraped off and fixed. If you ever have that problem, just scrape it off and it'll be the same as this powder. So this powder looks like that. It's just a blurring powder, and has salicylic acid in it, so beware of that. People that have sensitive skin often have a reaction to salicylic acid, but improved skin look reduces the appearance of imperfections, pores, and unevenness. This is true. It has a lot of coverage. I really do like applying this with the sponge in here, but also using a dry beauty sponge to set the areas of the face here. So I buy a lighter shade in this to set my under eye, and then a darker shade to set the rest of my face. So this is a number one. I love this powder and I highly recommend it. The next one, you guys already know this is going to be in here if you know me and have been watching my videos for some time. This is the Wet n Wild Reserve Your Cabana. This is supposed to be a bronzer, but this is in fact a setting powder. So this is a highlighting powder. Look how highlighting that is. There's a little tiny bit of sparkle in it, but none that translates on the skin. I use this with a dry beauty blender and I swirl it in here and I set my under eye and anywhere I put concealer. That's the only use I have for this powder, but it is downright amazing. Total dupe for the Kat Von D highlighting powder in her shade and contour palette, and this is only like $1. You can find this at Dollar Tree, Dollar General. You can find this pretty much anywhere. You can also get it on Amazon. I got 16 of these at Walgreens.com. Free shipping to store, or if you go over a certain amount, it's shipped to your house for free. Highly recommend this powder. This next powder I'm going to talk about is my favorite. I have a couple favorites, but this is my very favorite. It's the Covergirl Vitalist Healthy Powder. So this I have in a couple of shades, but this I use to set the perimeters of my face when I have a tacky or sticky foundation that doesn't want to set down by itself. This is so smooth, guys. Look at that. It is so blurring on the skin. It provides a lot of extra coverage. It sets down perfectly. It's very finely milled. It is very silky to the touch, and I just love this. It has some certain vitamins in it, E, B3, and B5. This is made in Italy. Any product made in Italy, I truly adore because it is the finest of fine ingredients and you know you're getting a good product. So I highly recommend this for setting the face. Not so much the under eye, but setting the rest of the face when having a tacky or not so much a self-setting foundation on. This is my number one for that. The next powder I have is a cult classic and mine is used. It is the Rimmel Stay Matte General Translucent Powder. This powder is perfect for mattifying areas of the face that need to be mattified, such as the T-zone. Over here, this is the perfect powder for it. Let me show you. It is just so silky and it really does mattify those areas. Highly recommend for oily skin people or for the summertime where you really want any parts that get really sweaty mattified to go over it with this powder and it will stay put all day. This is only probably about $2 at the drugstore. Highly recommend Rimmel. It's one of my very faves and a holy grail to so many YouTubers. Look it up. Trust me. The next pressed powder I want to talk about is from e.l.f. This is the Sheer Tint Finishing Powder, and I'm in the shade Light Medium. This powder, it comes with a mirror, and it also comes with a little compact here. So you can definitely put this in your purse and use the little sponge to apply and touch up. That's usually what I do, but it just looks like this in the pan. So I got this in my skin tone color, and this is so incredibly soft. This blurs the skin and it sets foundation perfectly. It's only $6. I highly recommend this. It's so finely milled. e.l.f. is so underrated. It's super affordable. I set the perimeters of the face that need to be set, and I keep this in my purse because it has that little sponge that is just so easy to take the sponge, lightly, actually you could lightly dampen the sponge, just dip into this and then press on the areas that look crepey or separating, and this will clear it right up. Again, this is only $6 from e.l.f. You can get this practically anywhere. Another setting powder I want to recommend that is a holy grail of mine and has been for quite some time is from Milani. This is their Conceal and Perfect setting powder. It's shine proof, and it's a comfortable feel, buildable coverage. It's mattifying. It has bamboo powder. It absorbs oil. It has lily extracts, and it reduces the look of pores. And it's also made in Italy. What do you know? So I have this in my skin shade. It also comes with a mirror, no compact. Wow. No sponge or anything like that, but this is a very soft powder, and it looks like this. So it does mattify the face. It sets down foundation perfectly, and this adds a ton of coverage. It's almost like a powder foundation. So I think this is a powder foundation. And sometimes when I use a BB cream and I have texture over here and I really need that set, and it's a tacky situation or like a low coverage foundation, I will go lightly all over my face and use this to add some coverage to hide some acne scarring or any texture that I may have. This is my number one go-to for that extra coverage and mattifying property powder. For an affordable option, and this is such a good powder. I don't know why people don't talk about this, but this is the Coverall pressed powder from Wet n Wild. So this is for all day wear, radiant, weightless finish, Visi-Bright complex, reduces the appearance of wrinkles and rejuvenates skin. I use this as an under eye setting powder. So this also comes with a sponge, and this is the softest powder ever. So it really does brighten the skin. It's almost like a banana looking powder. It brightens the under eye. It is just like the Wet n Wild Reserve Your Cabana, but this I found at Dollar Tree for $1. And you can also get this anywhere, Dollar General, Dollar Tree, you know. These are becoming a little bit more scarce, so I highly recommend stocking up on this because it beautifully sets the under eye. It doesn't leave the under eye crepey, or it doesn't separate the concealer, whatever concealer it may be. This is beautiful for setting the areas of concealer, especially the under eye. Highly recommend. I have this powder foundation from NYX. It's a Stay Matte, Not Flat. This is a powder foundation. It has a compact, they're all compact. It has a little toucher-upper sponge thing in here. It also has a mirror, and I get this in my skin shade, which is soft beige. So this is also a very soft powder foundation, and it has some coverage, but I like this because it is mattifying. So I use this mostly in the summer to combat the oily parts of my face in the T-zone. Also, if I'm in a pinch, I will take this in my purse and use the sponge in it like I stated before. But this is more expensive than the Milani and all the other ones I talked about. So therefore I don't reach for it, and I don't recommend it that much because the Milani is much better, and this is about $15. But I still wanted to recommend it because it is a very good powder foundation. Those are hard to come by at the drugstore. So another NYX product is this HD finishing powder in Banana. This is my very, very favorite. Super soft, super brightening, and I use this for underneath the eyes. I put a dry sponge in this and also set my under eye area. But again, this is expensive. It's $10. This is a finishing powder as well. So it just is, I don't know. I love this. Allie Glines recommended this, and I put a dry sponge in there. I'll do it right now to brighten my under eye. And I just press, and it instantly brightens up the under eye, makes it look completely flawless. Anywhere you need brightened on the skin, go ahead and use this powder, and you can literally see if you need anywhere mattified to brighten up that T-zone area. Look, it just completely transformed my look. If you're looking crepey and separated, just lightly spray a damp beauty sponge and go ahead and set those areas again with this powder. Push it into the skin and bam, it's like all new makeup. It's like you just applied your makeup and it looks flawless. I highly recommend this banana powder. One of the best. Another product I'm going to mention, and no one talks about this, is the Covergirl Advanced Radiance Setting Powder. It's a pressed powder. I have mine in the shade Ivory. It has a little mirror, and it looks like this. It is so beautiful for setting foundation. Nobody talks about this, but it is the lightest feeling powder on the skin. I have it in this shade because I do set my under eyes with it. It gives that blurred effect. It doesn't emphasize any fine lines or texture, or it doesn't become crepey or anything like that. It is the softest, lightweight ever powder, and I highly, highly recommend you get this. You can get it in a skin tone shade and set the rest of the makeup as well. This is not going to provide you with coverage at all. It is merely to set the areas and mattify and just lightly. It's very light for very light foundation days or anything like that, and you don't want to look too cakey or heavy with powder. This is my go-to. The Covergirl Advanced Radiance. Also, I want to let you know that it comes in 2 different types of packaging. So this is the newest packaging. This is the Covergirl packaging here. It has the mirror and it has the pressed powder. So it looks like this, and it is a very, very similar product. This is the new one. I don't think this is as lightweight as the older one, so definitely pick up the older one due to it being super lightweight, but this is still a really good product. Highly recommend, guys. So there you have it. Those are my top pressed powders from the drugstore. Very affordable. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know by giving this video a thumbs up that you want me to continue this series. I love you all. Thank you for your continued support. If you haven't subscribed already, I recommend you do so at the end of this video because why not? It is free. And make sure to hit that notification bell so YouTube notifies you each and every time I upload. Until my next video, guys, I love you and I'll see you. Bye.